Hey up, it's Steve from that old Yorkshire geek, and it's Wednesday, which means it is Wednesday, isn't it? Yeah, which means it's my midweek news roundup. Not a lot of news this week, or this Wednesday, should I say? So we probably will get it through it quite quickly, I hope. Right, so let's get on with it. Before we start, don't forget, like and subscribe. There we go. Share the videos, drop a comment, hit the notification bell if you're subscribed already. And we're also we're live on YouTube. Let me check, make sure. Yes, it's hump day, says Wingrace, and he's quite right. I hate that phrase. But anyway, it's hump day. We're live on YouTube. We should be live on Rumble. Let me just refresh that. Yes, we're live on Rumble, and we should be live on Twitch. Yes, we're live on Twitch. So just let me share these while I'm while I'm here. Just bear with me as well as share these links. Not that anybody will follow them, but you never know. You never know. Right. Rum tum tiddly piddly pum pum pum. Right. Right, news. So off we go. We've got what we got there. We've got a Godzilla trailer. We've got another trailer for another film, which looks interesting, and other stuff as well. I can't remember. Some Star Trek and a bit of Star Wars, I think. Yes, and of course, I've got to mention the As rant about Starfield. I've got to mention that. That's the last story. So right. So let's get on with it. Make myself titchy tiny. Oh, there we go. It's blooming warm here. I'm sweating cobs. Wingrace is here. Probably don't have the ad over there. The hump day camel was all over everything for a long time. I just thought it was hump day because it was the middle of the week. So you were over the hump of the week. I thought that was just what it referred to. I didn't know there was an actual camel in it. But anyway. Right. Right, we're starting off. Godzilla. Just let me full screen this baby. Right, off we go. We're going to watch the Godzilla -1 trailer. It looks really, really good. So let's get on with that. I'll just mute myself while we watch this. Hopefully, we won't get a copyright. Looks ace, doesn't it? That looks ace. But they can all see what other videos I've been watching there. That's a bit of there we go. Crazy Licks, Girls of the 80s, Godzilla, Starfield, bit of Star Trek, bit of Ahsoka, Exorcist. Oh, why? That's my review of episode 4 of Star Wars Ahsoka, which is on my site now. What's that? Glory Hammer. I don't know why I'm going through these. I don't have to justify myself, do I? A bit of Star Trek there. One of my shorts, a sketch. And Crazy Licks again, Anthem for America. I like Crazy Licks. Anyway, whatever. Right. So let's get rid of that. So yes, that looks really, really good to me. Don't know how they had to do the Gojira -1 at the end, but we can read, you know. Oh, sorry, Wingrace is just explaining about the camel. It is, but Geico, or is it Geeko? I don't know how to pronounce it. Made an ad campaign about a camel in an office yelling about hump day. Oh, okay. Everything in America's an ad campaign. Right. So what was I saying now? All right, we're going to go through the trailer now and look at little bits. Right. So off we go. I'll do it full screen again. There we go. Right. So back to the beginning. Right. So come on then. Good old Toho symbol logo. It's obviously a period piece, so it's set just after Geico, whatever. Yes, I must justify every video I ever watch. Yes. It's obviously a period piece, so it's set just after the war. So is it a sequel to Godzilla? Because she says in the thing she recognizes this big monster as Godzilla, doesn't she? Or Gojira. So is this the second time he's coming back, or is it a remake of the original? I've no idea. I don't know. It looks good. They're all running away. They don't know what's happening. It's something. So they don't know what it is, but it's something big. And these chaps on a train or something are about to get another train thrown at them. So there we go. There we see him. I don't think is it still a man in a suit? You know, embellished with CG. I don't know. It'd be nice if it was still a man in a suit. You know, because it's old Toho Godzilla's. It'd be nice if it was still a man in a suit. But this, I think this looks better than Shin Godzilla. I did like Shin Godzilla, but it dragged on a bit, didn't it? And but it was a cautionary tale about the government being slow at reacting to stuff, wasn't it? Or Shin Godzilla. Lots of committees and meetings rather than getting on with stuff. Anyway, but this looks more action-packed. As I said, we didn't see Godzilla until way into the film. He was some weird creature with googly eyes for most of it, wasn't he? Anyway, yeah, he's eating a train, smashing up stuff. So I used to love the old Godzilla films. I said they were corny, weren't they? But a man in a suit smashing through Tokyo, it were cool. Can you do this? Oh, you can. Oh, there we go. There we go. Post-war Japan had lost everything. Pretty much. Should have surrendered, shouldn't they, before those bombs got dropped. But anyway. Oh, and as we see Godzilla going under that ship. We've seen that a few times, haven't we, in films? But here he's smashing stuff up, throwing boats about. He will never forgive us. And there we go. One last shot of Godzilla, not looking very well. It looks very burnt, doesn't it? So if they try blowing him up or something with a nuclear bomb, not post-war. They tried. They've obviously done something to him, haven't they? Because he looks very burnt. So I don't know what's happened there. But it looks really good. I'm looking forward to that. So anyway, right. So we'll move on to the next story. It's there's another trailer, but there's an article with it. Yeah, I'm hoping because I'm just looking at a blank screen. Oh, it's come on now. Right, off we go. Trailer, sci-fi horror. No one will save you. I think I mentioned this a few weeks ago in a news thing. I think it was in like a list, like a top films coming out or whatever. Oh, pardon me. And this were among the films that were coming out. So anyway, 20th Century Studios. I wish they'd just call them Fox, 20th Century Fox, but never mind. Has released a dialogue-free and suspenseful trailer for the Alien Invasion meets Home Invasion period thriller. Another period one, is it? No One Will Save You. The story follows a creative and talented young woman named Bryn, Caitlin Deaver, who's been alienated from her community. I can imagine why. If it's a period piece, I bet she's gay or something like that. I bet she is. Lonely but ever hopeful, Bryn finds solace within the walls of the home where she grew up until she's awakened one night by strange noises from decidedly unearthly intruders. As the trailer continues, the larger scale of the invasion is shown, as is the world around the woman, which seems to be set sometime in the past, judging by her clothes and the appearance of a rotary phone, along with no signs of mobiles, tablets, or any computer tech. This must be a British site, because Americans don't usually say mobiles, do they? They say cell phones, don't they? Usually. I don't know. What does it say there? Don't know. Right, anyway, whatever. Bryn must ultimately face off against a host of extraterrestrial beings who threaten her future and force her to deal with her past. Meanwhile, forcing her to deal with her past. The $22 million budget film, crikey, I didn't expect it to be that high. I expected it to be a really low budget one. But anyway, was shot in New Orleans from April to June last year. Brian Duffield, who helmed the dark teen comedy Spontaneous, never heard of it, penned and directs No One Will Save You, is set to be released in the United States by Hulu on September 2nd and will air on Star Plus in Latin America and Disney Plus in other territories the same day. Oh, so it's coming out this month, and I don't have to go to the pictures to see it. Cool. And there's the poster for it. No One Will Save You, being abducted by aliens. As you may know, I'm into UFOs and stuff. I used to be really into UFOs, not as much now. Anyway, let's have a look at this trailer. See if it full screen the bugger. I'll mute me. I think that should be fine. Here we go. It's gonna be like communion. A little alien head. Looked a bit goofy, that, didn't it, to be honest? Yeah, another glimpse of a taller one. Or maybe they're all... Oh, on the bed. Ooh, I bet that hurt. Ooh. And a door thrown at you. End of day. I missed that TV. I wasn't paying attention. We'll go back. Ooh, that's a big bugger. Yeah, that looks good, does that? That looks good. I'm looking forward to that. What to the pictures to see it? What do you say about a telly? Where was it now? A modern looking telly. I can't remember where it was. Come on then. Just me to pause on the blank screen. Right, a telly, modern looking telly. Come on, show us a telly. Around about this area, wasn't this I haven't seen a telly yet. TV, should I say. Look, she said it at this part. I haven't seen a TV, so I must have missed it. Was it earlier than the knife? All right. Go away. What's that doing? Earlier than the knife. Where's the knife? That's the knife. No, go back a bit more then. No. Oh, was it that you were looking at? Never mind. I think I saw something on the wall. I don't know if it was telly or a picture. See if we can land on it. But I can't. But I can't find the bugger. Oh, there we go. Yes, that was a modern TV, wasn't it? Yes, it was. Yes. I don't know why I didn't twig on that. Yes. Where's it gone now? Why has it gone all the way back to the beginning? Sorry about this. Oh, whatever. Yes, it did look like a modern telly, didn't it? Yes, it was a flat screen telly. So maybe it's not a period piece. Maybe it is a. She's just got an old-fashioned phone, basically. So there we go. But yes, I'm looking forward to that. So September 22nd. That looks good. And they look like nasty aliens. Like a combination. It's like a cross between like Signs and Communion, isn't it? A little bit with some Independence Day thrown in with the clouds and spaceships and stuff in the clouds. Also, a little bit of name of that other film about UFOs. Oh, it had Julianne Moore in it. So much to be remembering. Oh no, The Forgotten. That were it. The Forgotten. That were a good one. Because I watched that and I didn't know what it were about. I think I just rented it or whatever on DVD from Blockbuster or whatever. Didn't know what it were about. I thought it was just a thriller about starring Julianne Moore, and I put it in. It turned out to be about spoilers. Turned out to be about UFOs and abducting people and all that. It was cool. Anyway, right. So let's move on. Looking forward to that. Hang on. Unless that's the scene when she gets returned to the same house like 30 years after her abduction, but Flight of the Navigator style. You never know. If they've borrowed from everything else, they might have borrowed from Flight of the Navigator too. You never know. Forgot my buttons. There we go. Right. What's next? Oh, here we go. Right. Star Trek next. There we go. Star Trek is getting 5 new, very short treks. The 5 animated shorts from the Too Many Cooks guy feature voice actors from a bunch of Star Trek shows and are anything but canon. And there's Neelix. And it's very, the 70s, the animated series style, isn't it? Ish. Maybe slightly better. CBS Studios just announced Star Trek Very Short Treks, a set of 5 animated shorts from Casper Kelly, the Too Many Cooks guy. I've no idea. I've never seen that. The first of them will debut this Friday, Star Trek Day, in honour of the 50th anniversary of Star Trek, the animated series. You can catch the brief trailer below. Right, we'll watch this then. Oh, bloody trailer today, isn't it?
Space, the final frontier.
Star Trek has given us an incredible universe of entertainment. And this year, we celebrate the 50th anniversary of the Emmy Award-winning Star Trek, the animated series. And we're doing so boldly and briefly.
That's enough silly stories for one night.
With 5 new animated tributes that are anything but canon. Prepare to be shocked.
What?
Prepare for Very Short Treks coming this fall. Get drawn into the universe of Star Trek animation. Look for Very Short Treks promotional spots coming soon and watch Star Trek, the animated series on Paramount Plus today.
Right, okay, very good. How long are they going to be showing them? Is like one a week, every Friday or something? Or they're just going to drop them all at once? It just says the first of them will debut this Friday, so I don't know. Anyway, the shorts will feature characters from The Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, the original series, Discovery, and The Lower Decks. Is it The Lower Decks? I thought it was just Lower Decks. Anyway, whatever. Animation styles visible in the trailer run the gamut from indistinguishable from the animated series to just the regular Lower Decks style. After the first episode, Skin a Cat launches Friday. Oh, here we go. The rest will follow on Wednesdays, starting on September 13th. They'll stream on StarTrek.com and the Star Trek YouTube channel. Oh, so they're not going to be on Paramount Plus then? No, doesn't look that way. Yes, hope they are. Yes, it looks like it, doesn't it? It looks like it. In terms of cast, here's who's listed on the press release: George Takei as Sulu, Gates McFadden as Beverly Crusher, Dr. Beverly Crusher, Jonathan Frakes as Will Riker, Doug Jones as Saru, Armin Shimmerman as Quark, Ethan Peck as Spock, Celia Rose Gooding as Uhura, Connor Trinneer as Trip Tucker, yay, justice for Trip, Bruce Horak as Hemmer, yay, justice for Hemmer, Noel Wells as Tendi. Notably not listed in the announcement, but present in the trailer, and our hearts, Neelix. Oh, Neelix. Oh, that's weird that they showed him in the trailer, but didn't list him in the press release. But never mind. It looks interesting. Hopefully, it's going to be better than the other short treks that were bloody awful. Apart from the one with Harry Muddin, quite like that one, but the rest were terrible. Hopefully, this is good. When they say very short treks, how short is that? Are they going to be? Going to be like a minute long or something? Is that what they mean for very short treks? It doesn't say, does it? It doesn't say how long they will be. No. We'll find out on Friday, won't we? We will find out then. Right, so looking forward to that. Looking forward to that. What's the rest of the episodes called? Do we know? Let's have a look at the press release. Opening new tab. Hang on just a minute. Let me get rid of that because I'm going to have to get out of full screen to have a look at this. Oh, sorry, not allowed. Our geographic location is not allowed access. Oh, right, sod that then. Oh, well, we can soon deal with that, can't we? Let me just double check this. Yes, it should be okay now. We'll refresh that. Why are you saying not allowed? Yeah, we'll try again. The wonders of the VPN. Right, press release. Star Trek celebrates 50 years of animation with the launch of Star Trek Very Short Treks. By the way, I like the other animated short trek, even though it had a droid in it. I didn't watch that one. I didn't get all the way through that. I started watching it, and it just annoyed me so much I turned it off. Because we got to see the entire history of the Enterprise. Oh, well, I don't know. I didn't get very far into it. Did me head in. Right, first of Very 5 short treks will debut on Star Trek Day, September 8th on StarTrek.com. Newly confirmed voice cast includes Ethan Peck, Gates McFadden, Silly Rose Gooding, Connor Trenier, Bruce Horak, Noel Wells, and the legendary George Takei. But no, poor Ethan Phillips. I bet he's seething. Joining previously announced voice cast Jonathan Frakes, Doug Jones, and Armin Shimmerman. The first chapter of the new comic book, Star Trek Animated Celebration presents the Shima Barrier. Will also launch on September 8th. So that's one for Win Grace, likes his comics. Very short treks. And there's the trailers and the logo and the poster. Blah, 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 blah. We don't say how long they're going to be or any other titles. Is it? Oh, no, it isn't here. Skinner Cat, Holiday Party, Worst Contact, Holograms All the Way Down, Walk, Don't Run. So they're the titles. There we go. There we go. So there's just 5 of them then. Looks like it, doesn't it? So there we go. So there's 5 episodes, and there's the titles for you. Wow, they acknowledged Prodigy in that picture. I wasn't looking. In this picture, is it in here somewhere? Oh yeah, there we go. There's and Thingamabob. Yes, and that one as well. Yes, Prodigy's in there. Probably made before it got cancelled and removed from history. And there's the Medusan. Yeah, cool. Does it mention Ethan Phillips here? No, it just says Ethan Peck. You think they've got mixed up between Ethan Peck and Ethan Phillips? Bet they have. You know. Bet they've got them mixed up. Yeah, it's not mentioning him again, is it? Unless somebody else is doing his voice, it's not Ethan Phillips. That is a possibility, and they've just dragged somebody in that sounds a bit like him. That is a possibility, I suppose, which is why they don't mention him. But anyway, there's the titles. September 8th, Skinner Cat. September 13th, Holiday Party. September 20th, Worst Contact. That sounds like fun. That sounds like a Lower Decks episode, doesn't it? September 27th, Holograms All the Way Down. And October 4th, Walk, Don't Run. So there we go. So, looking forward to them. I hope they're good. And I hope they're not. I hope they're longer than like a minute. You know, the same very short treks, aren't they? The other short treks were only like 10, 15 minutes, wasn't there? Something like that. If that, I can't really remember. Anyway, right, so let's move on. Right, what we're next? Oh, here we go. This is one that interests me. Maybe it doesn't interest any bugger else, but it does me. Sci-fi cat game Stray is being turned into a new movie. Plus, The Last of Us Craig Mazin confirmed that he's helped work on the script for a new Pirates of the Caribbean movie. But that's by the by. But anyway, this game Stray, I've played it, the PS5, an amazing game. gorgeous, and like I say, you play as a cat, and it's amazing. It's great. You're just going around this futuristic city where there's no people left. There's just robots and cats, and you're going around trying to work out what's happened. Eventually, you do find out, what happened to all the people and why there's just robots left. And it's a really good game, and it's got quite an emotional ending. It just ends as the game. The cat just scurries off, and that's it. It has one last look at you, and off it goes, and the game ends like that. And I'm like, but I've just spent all this time with your cat, and you've just sodded off, as cats do. That's what it's like. Anyway, right. We could be getting that Godzilla Apple TV Plus show sooner than you think. Get another look at the Kaiju number 8 anime, plus a look at the anime adaptation of Osamu Tezuka's unfinished manga Phoenix, and what's coming up on Quantum Leap Season 2. Spoilers now. Right, so looks like we've got a lot of news here actually on this, haven't we? I thought they were just talking about that cat game. Anyway, right, spoiler warnings. Who cares? Pirates of the Caribbean. During a recent interview with the Los Angeles Times, The Last of Us showrunner Craig Mazin, was it Mazin? I don't know. Revealed he's developed a story for a new Pirates of the Caribbean movie with original screenwriter Ted Elliott. We pitched it, quote, we pitched it, and there's no way they're buying it. It's too weird. And they did. So they bought it. And then he wrote a fantastic script, and the strike happened, and everyone's waiting around. Oh, pardon me. So there we go. Like I say, I'm a big Pirates of the Caribbean fan. Well, the original 3. I love the original 3. But so hopefully it's a good one, and hopefully it gets Johnny Depp back. Get Captain Jack Sparrow back, as we want. Don't want some bloody all female one, do we? Woke Captain Pirates of the Caribbean. So anyway, right, Stray. Entertainment Weekly reports a film adaptation of Stray, the video game in which you play as a cat exploring an underground city populated by robots, is now in development at Annapurna Animation. According to Annapurna's Robert Baird, the movie version will be a buddy comedy about a cat and a robot. Why a buddy comedy? So they're going to make a mess of it, aren't they? They're going to make a mess of it. Carrie Sheehan is the better name. Yes, Pirates of the Caribbean. Oh dear. A buddy comedy about a cat and a robot. It's going to be terrible, isn't it? Right, anyway. Candy Cane Lane. Coming soon, reports Eddie Murphy's supernatural Christmas movie, Candy Cane Lane, is now scheduled to premiere this December 1st on Prime Video. Oh, good. I hope it's a proper. I hope it's not a kids' film. Eddie Murphy's just been doing a lot of kids' films, hasn't they? But anyway, yes, Data and Spot, a cat and a robot. Yeah. Where were we? Yeah. So hopefully, I don't. Is it going to be like a horror film, or is it just like a supernatural Christmas movie, like along the lines of a Christmas Carol, a family film? Don't know. We'll see, I suppose. We'll see. I want to see Eddie Murphy back to his, foul mouth self. I want to see it. I want to see him swearing. Hey, you know what? I'm in the mood now. Now I mentioned Eddie Murphy. I want to watch. I forgot the name of the bloody ones. He did Raw, didn't he? The one before. What was the first one he did? Delirious. I want to see Delirious and Eddie Murphy Raw again. I went to see Eddie Murphy Raw at the cinema when it first came out, with that 1987, just showing how old I am. And I had a terrible cough all the way through. It was doing my head in. Couldn't enjoy it. Anyway, right. The Nun 2, bloody disgusting, as both a clip and new images from The Nun 2. Head over there to see the rest. Oh, very good. Not really. I wasn't really that bothered about Nun 1, to be honest. The Conjuring films haven't really done it for me. I love the Insidious films, but the Conjuring ones, I'm not that keen on. They're fine, but, they're okay, but I don't go mad over them. Anyway, and there we go. So look at the clip. No, a minute. Oh, God, I thought we were going to the clip. I thought we were like 20 seconds or something. Right, Mami Wata. A viral outbreak caused a tribe of villagers to lose faith in their mermaid goddess in the trailer for Mami Wata, a Nigerian folk horror coming to select US theatres this September 29th. Very good. So, so you can have black mermaids. Oh dear. But not The Little Mermaid, a Danish fairy tale. But never mind. Sorry about this. Yeah, it sounds like the Eddie Murphy one. Yeah, it sounds like a family comedy. It probably is. At the risk of ruining the holidays for his family, Chris, his wife Carol, and their 3 children must race against the clock to break Pepper's spell, battle deviously magical characters, and save Christmas. Sounds shit, doesn't it? But it sounds like a Haunted Mansion that he did, 10 years ago, however long it was, doesn't it? Basically. Come on, Eddie, make some proper films again. Auntie, you're swearing. I know he's done 1 or 2, hasn't he, where he's done that sort of thing, but never mind the kids. Right, Mary Had a Little Lamb. Elsewhere, true crime podcasters investigating a string of disappearances find a homicidal woman and her sheep-headed son responsible in the trailer for Mary Had a Little Lamb. That sounds interesting. And there's all right, go on, let's watch it.
That it's time to close another episode of Carla's Cold Cases.
Feels like you're running out of steam. You're not giving me what I want, Carla.
Police are still combing the out Eddie Reed and Joan Evans.
Hi guys, everything is riding on this, and we're going to follow the exact same footsteps of the 2 missing people. My team and I have reached a very mysterious house.
Hello, my name's Mary. I don't bite.
Carla, something doesn't feel right here. Exactly, something is off. Mary had a little lamb, its fleece was white.
You let Mummy take care of all of this. And everywhere that Mary went, the lamb was sure to go.
That looks like fun, doesn't it? Sorry, Wingrace. Back to Eddie Murphy. It was about to start stand-up again, but then COVID happened and he got scared. Big wuss. Anyway, yeah, that Mary Had a Little Lamb looks interesting. It looks British, doesn't it? Does it say British? No, it doesn't say, does it? It looks British, doesn't it? A couple of, at least one American accent in there. But that looks interesting. It looks a low-budget British... comedy horror. I might give that a go when it comes out. I'm sure it'll be straight to streaming and straight to DVD. It'll be in my supermarket I nearly bought that, what they call it? I forgot to call it now. That Winnie the Pooh horror film that came out recently. I nearly bought that on DVD and then changed my mind. Picked it up. I went as far as picking it up and thought, shall I get it? And I'll put it back again. This looks similar. There was a film, wasn't there? Was it an Icelandic film, a Norwegian or something like that? Starring who was in it now? Was it from the girl with the dragon tattoo? I forgot her name. And she was in Alien Covenant. Alien Prometheus. She was in Prometheus, wasn't she? Was it her that were in it? I'm thinking of a different one. About somebody that basically gives birth to a sheep. Sounds along them lines. Right, 3 blind mice. By the same token, a recovering drug addict is tormented by a trio of eyeless ghouls in the trailer for 3 blind mice. Okay, fair enough. And there's a trailer. Do we need to watch all these trailers? I don't know. Anyway. Looks like it could be fine. I'm already getting tired of the true crime podcasters getting into trouble chop in films, though. Yeah, I don't know. The only film I've seen recently that had like podcasters in it was that, I think it was the first Halloween, wasn't it? The remake, not remake, the restart or whatever of Halloween. I think it was the first one. Yeah, it was the first one, wasn't it? They were podcasters, weren't they, that paid Laurie Strode, were it $3,000 or something for an interview? That's the only one I've seen that had podcasters in. Yeah, well, that one. Right, Quantum Leap. Variety reports Eliza Taylor, The 100, and Peter Gadio. People are saying now, why don't you play that trailer of Three Blind Mice? Because I don't. Oh, God. Another uncorked one. Is this
Abigail, your parents have asked me to come and speak to you about your substance abuse habit and relative issues.
Another British one. So we spin it on a bit. We spin it on and see what happens. Oh, there we go. Look. Looks like they're using the same. That's like a pig face, is that, isn't it? Probably the same. People have made the makeup effects. People have been doing that one. Anyway, let's move on. Variety reports Eliza Taylor, The 100, and Peter Gadio, Yellow Jackets, have joined the cast of Quantum Leap second season. Grace likes Quantum Leap, I think. Taylor will play Hannah Carson, a complex young woman who may be more than she appears, while Gadio, Gadiot, or whatever, has been cast as Tom Westfall, a thoughtful, centered, and spiritual US Army officer who is now high up in Army intelligence. I'm going to have to get around to watching this redo. It's a continuation, isn't it? It's a sequel, sort of, isn't it, to the original Quantum Leap. I'll have to get around to it because I think it started on Paramount Plus, I think. Anyway. Monarch, Legacy of Monsters. According to the latest issue of TV Guide, Monarch, Legacy of Monsters will premiere sometime this November on Apple TV Plus. And there's a tweet saying it's going to be on in fall. There we go. But I haven't got Apple TV Plus. I did the story about this last week, didn't I? Apart from a couple of episodes, I thought it was a fine show, says Grace. I'm going to have to give it a go. But to be honest, I wasn't really a huge fan of the original Quantum Leap, to be honest. I saw a few episodes. The ones that I saw, I did like. So I'd probably love it now if I watched it now, to be honest. Yeah. Anyway, right, moving on. Kaiju number 8. Relatedly, comic book as a new piece of key art from the upcoming anime series, Kaiju number 8. And there we go. No sign of a kaiju, or is that it there? That they stood on. Standing on. Right, The Fall of the House of Usher. Bloody Disgusting also has a new poster for Mike Flanagan's. Oh, so it should be good. The Fall of the House of Usher, premiering this October 12th on Netflix. As I remember the old Vincent Price one. Was it a Roger Corman film? The original? I think it was, wasn't it? With Vincent Price. I think that's what I'm thinking of. I get it mixed up between that and Mask of the Red Death. Maybe it were both of them. I can't remember. But that should be interesting. I say Mike Flanagan's is solid, isn't he? He's solid. He always does good stuff, does Mike Flanagan. And his wife's hot as well. Katie Siegel in it. Is it? That's right, isn't it? She looks a bit like Angelina Jolie, doesn't she? But anyway. Phoenix. Finally, Disney Plus Japan has released a trailer for its new anime series based on Osamu Tezuka's unfinished manga Phoenix, and there's a trailer for that. Follow the link if you want to look at that. I'm not into animes and manga. Yes, Corman did the old one. Yes, I thought so. I thought he had done. Right, so there we go. I didn't realize that were going to be a whole different stories. I thought it was going to be about that stray. But anyway, that serves myself right for not reading them beforehand, doesn't it? Right, we'll move on. He's saying this. Oh, we're going to be through this quick. Do not but watch bloody trailers. Right, Star Trek. Star Trek Picard, to be precise. VFX error found on Star Trek Picard Season 3 Blu-ray disc. We're still put, by the way, all the links, I forgot to mention, all the links for these stories are down in the description. And later on, when I'm all done, I'll put timestamps in so you can skip about and do whatever you want if you're going to watch it again. Ready for nursery rhyme verse. Well, yeah, all these other stories and stuff, they all seem to be doing nursery rhymes, don't they? We're still putting finalizing our review of the brand new Star Trek Picard Season 3 Blu-ray set, but wanted to quickly make sure that our readers were aware of a visual effects error that was identified overnight on the new release. In the opening moments of the series finale, The Last Generation, the Enterprise D is racing towards Earth to stop the Borg attack on Starfleet. And just before the camera cuts to our heroes on the bridge of the Galaxy-class starship, we see the resurrected Enterprise warping past camera. On Paramount Plus, the ship dynamically flies away from a blue nebula, passing close to camera before leaving viewers behind. Just a minute. Oh dear. Where were we? On the new Season 3 Blu-ray discs, however, that scene features a less interesting view of the Enterprise at warp speed. This appears to be a temporary visual effects shot used ahead of the final nebula sequence during post-production. The 10-second error occurs on disc 3 at time code 2:06 on The Last Generation, and then they've put some images. So that's what it should be like, what we saw on Paramount Plus, and that's what they've put on instead, just like an establishing shot of the Enterprise warping by. It still looks fine to me, but not as nice as that one, does it? While this visual effects mistake doesn't impact the story or cause any playback issues when watching The Last Generation, it's an unfortunate matter that will likely require corrective action from Paramount Home Entertainment. I mean, it could be that they're watching. They've got screeners essentially. They've been handed a pre-release copy that they're handing out, and it's not the final what everybody else will see. It could be argued with that. I don't know. I forgot where I want now. I'll start again. While this visual effects mistake doesn't impact the story or cause any playback issues when watching The Last Generation, it's an unfortunate matter that will likely require corrective action from Paramount Home Entertainment. The same thing happened when the episode first debuted on Paramount Plus back in the spring. Certain European regions saw the early VFX shot in initial Last Generation streams before it was corrected across the service. Very interesting. Oh, there's a video about it there. This isn't the first time that Star Trek Blu-rays have been affected by issues like this one. Back in 2012, the first season of Star Trek The Next Generation required replacement of 3 Blu-ray discs because of audio errors and a missing VFX shot in Heart of Glory, and the remastered Wrath of Khan Blu-ray needed replaced in 2016 following an accidental repeated shot of a Starship view screen. They're rubbish, aren't they? We've notified our contacts behind the Blu-ray release about the situation, and as soon as we have their feedback, we'll be sure to update you all right here. And watch for our review of the full Star Trek Picard Season 3 Blu-ray set in the coming days. Well, I hope they fix that. And there's the video back. Shall we have a look? Oh, hang on. There you go. So there you go. That's what they've done. It's a disgrace. Yes, I bet R&B. I bet R&B's gnashing. We've seen these pictures of R&B recently on Twitter and all that, and Instagram, with all his back all cut up. Is he doing a horror film or something? It looks like it, doesn't it? Maybe he's just turned into a colossal pervert. I don't know, but but R&B's gnashing his teeth about it. Anyway. By the way, Robert Meyer Burnett, if you don't know, is well into Star Trek. A little bit too much into the original series, but you can't say anything bad about it in front of him. Anyway, so there we go. So they've buggered up the one part. It should look like that, and it looks like that. Unless, as I said, they've been given the pre-release screeners or whatever, like beta releases, and they're aware of it. Or maybe they're rushing to fix it even as we speak. Or maybe they just couldn't be bothered and we'll just get what we're given. Anyway, right, let's move on. Right, next. Right. Go away. Right, Star Wars. Next, talk about Star Wars. Where was Ahsoka during the original Star Wars trilogy? Asks Den of Geek. Ahsoka survives the events of the original trilogy, but her whereabouts during that time are still a bit of a mystery. Time to enter the world between worlds. And as I said earlier, my review of episode 4 of Star Wars Ahsoka is up on my channel. I quite, it was okay. It was fine. I liked it. I give it 8 out of 10. Right. Ahsoka Tano was first introduced in the 2008 animated film Star Wars The Clone Wars, which served as a precursor to the animated series of the same name. Actually, it kind of was. Yeah, it came out before the series, but it was set sort of in the middle of the series. I think the first couple of seasons of the Clone Wars were all over the place chronologically. They're quite confusing. You could look online to find a chronological viewing order for the episodes, and like I said, the Clone Wars movie comes sort of like not at the beginning; it's somewhere further down, further into the series. Right, where were we? While Ahsoka isn't necessarily the main character, the Clone Wars follows her journey as Anakin Skywalker's Padawan, including why she ultimately left the Jedi Order and how she escaped Order 66. She returned in Rebels, which takes place in the 5 years leading up to A New Hope, and we know she survived the Galactic Civil War, given her return in The Mandalorian, The Book of Boba Fett, and her own series Ahsoka, all of which take place 5 years after the return of the Jedi, or thereabouts. Between 9 and 10 years after the Battle of Yavin in A New Hope. But since Ahsoka clearly survived the war with the Empire, where was she during the original trilogy? It's a big galaxy. You can't have everybody there, can you? Why wasn't she around to help the rebellion take down the Emperor? Maybe she was. We just didn't see her. She might have been in another room. Darth Vader and both of their Death Stars. Well, the very simple real-world answer is that she hadn't yet been created when A New Hope and the original trilogy were filmed in the 1970s and 80s. What a stupid answer. While George Lucas did co-create the character with Ahsoka showrunner Dave Filoni for the Clone Wars, she didn't make her debut until after Revenge of the Sith, which is also why Ahsoka isn't in any of the prequel trilogy films. But the in-universe explanation for why Ahsoka wasn't around during the original trilogy era is a bit more complicated. In the Season 2 finale of Rebels, Ahsoka joins Jedi Kanan Jarrus and Ezra Bridger on a mission to an ancient Sith temple on the planet Malachor. What they don't know is that Darth Vader has been lured to the planet by Maul Kenobi, which means Ahsoka finally has the chance to face her former master and witness what he's become. They face off in a duel with no clear winner, and at the end of the episode, is that the bit where she breaks his mask, much like Kenobi did in his series? But we see he's got eyebrows in the Rebels fight. But anyway. As the temple falls around them, Ahsoka stays behind to keep Vader from following Kanan and Ezra. Ahsoka is presumed dead. Yeah, but I'm sure at the end of that episode, when it had all collapsed and everybody had escaped except Ahsoka, we kind of saw there was a hint that there was somebody coming out. There was like a little figure, teeny tiny little figure at the entrance to the temple, as though somebody else had come out. And I think we all presumed that was supposed to be Ahsoka. But anyway. In Season 4, however, Ezra discovers a pathway to the world between worlds, a mystical plane between space and time that allows him to travel back in time and save Ahsoka from being struck down by Vader, even though Ahsoka ultimately returns through the portal to Malachor after a run-in with the Emperor, instead of joining Ezra and the Ghost crew in one BBY. Her fate is changed and she survives the encounter with Vader. After she goes back to Malachor, it's unclear how long she was stranded on the planet before finally finding her way back to her friends, thanks to some info on a series of Star Wars trading cards, of all places. We know Ahsoka eventually found her way back into the world between worlds and went on a spiritual journey that ended with her return to the known galaxy. Which is how she turns up on Lothal in the epilogue of the Rebel series finale, dressed in white robes. So she's like Ahsoka the White. She's back at the turning of the tide. Ready to head off into space with Sabine Wren to find Ezra after he went missing with Thrawn during the animated series' final battle. This epilogue takes place around 5 ABY, which is approximately 6 to 7 years after Ezra saves Ahsoka from Vader on Malachor. That's a lot of time in Ahsoka's history that's unaccounted for. Perhaps we'll learn more about her travels on Malachor and the world between worlds on Ahsoka. I don't think we will. I don't think we will. I think they'll just kind of forget about that. Or if they do mention it, she'll just say, well, I were busy exploring or doing stuff. I was finding myself. She went on walkabout like Dr. Franklin on Babylon 5. She went to find herself. That's what she did. And she didn't find herself. She found Rosario Dawson. So she transmogrified from Ashley Eckstein to Rosario Dawson and kind of lost all of her emotions along the way. But anyway, so there we go. So that's where she was during the original Star Wars trilogy. She was having a head transplant. Right, next, let's move on. Right, back to Star Trek now. Oh, go away. Sorry, I'm just sorting out an ad blocker. Pause on this site, refresh. Looks like you're blocking our ads. Screen rant, by the way. Right. Adverts popping up straight away. Unbelievable. Capitalism, eh? Star Trek fans campaign to boost Picard Season 3 ratings and Greenlight legacy. A Star Trek fan initiative plans to boost Picard Season... You're just repeating yourself. And there's Sir Patrick Stewart as Jean-Luc Picard in a terrible jacket. I mean, it looks like a little action figure. It's like a jacket that you'd make for an action figure. It's, the cloth hasn't scaled down. Looks like one of them, doesn't it? And the lovely Jerry Ryan as 7 of 9. Captain 7 of 9. She's right. Oh, go away. A Star Trek fan campaign urges fans to watch Star Trek Picard Season 3 in order to garner a green light for its proposed sequel, Star Trek Legacy. Oh, Pete's sake. There we go. Thank you. I'm an idiot. So let's go back up. Right. There's Patrick Stewart in his terrible jacket that looks like, as I said, one that had been made for an action figure that hasn't scaled down very well, the cloth. And there's the lovely Jerry Ryan. I'm a knobhead. Right. You can blame Screen Rant and having me, taking the ad blocker off. I'm sharing it now. Right. Picard Season 3 ended in April with a clear setup for a continuation series led by Jerry Ryan as 7 of 9, the new captain of the USS Enterprise G. It's the Titan A. However, despite Picard Season 3's critical and fan acclaim and strong performance in the Nielsen streaming top 10, Paramount Plus hasn't greenlit Star Trek Legacy. Star Trek Picard Season 3 showrunner Terry Matalas, who also wants to oversee Legacy, has asked fans for their support to make the new show happen. Power of 7 is an initiative rallying Star Trek fans globally to watch Star Trek Picard Season 3 during the week of September 3rd. Oh, so it's ongoing now. With a special emphasis on #7 of 9 day, Thursday, September 7th. So you're doing it in the right order, look. Because it suits you. You normally put the month first, don't you? check out lettersforlegacies.org's at Letters Legacy tweet below. Well, crap, I missed it. Well, it's for this week, isn't it? It's during the week of September, maybe the week from September 3rd to 7th of September. What is it now? Oh, it's 7th tomorrow, isn't it? So you can watch Picard Season 3 on September 7th tomorrow. Lower Decks is out, isn't it, tomorrow? I just remembered. So that'll be fun, I hope. There's the tweet. Condition read, next Thursday, 7th of 9 day, is our chance to shape Star Trek's future. Thousands will press play on Picard Season 3 at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. That's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's midnight British time. 1 a.m. European time. And sometime in the future in Australia. Let's skyrocket ratings and make at Terry Metalis' Star Trek Legacy T dream a reality. Rally the fleet and retweet. All right, so just let me open that in a new tab, and I'll do that later. The hashtag Power of 7 campaign's goal is to boost Picard Season 3 back into the Nielsen streaming top 10. To accomplish this, hashtag Power of 7 needs 7 to the power of 7, 823,543 fans to participate in order to culminate in a collective viewing session that surpasses 438 million minutes. In addition, hashtag Power of 7 urges fans to reach out to 7 fellow Star Trek fans to watch Picard Season 3 on September 7th in order to amplify the event. Well, I'm doing that through this. But there's only 2 watching, so I have another 5 to find. Yeah, 2. Is that the Voyager? The Lower Decks episode. Is that the first episode? 2 Vix. I bet it's got nothing to do with 2 Vix. I bet it hasn't. Anyway. A few factors have contributed to why Paramount Plus hasn't greenlit Star Trek Legacy despite Star Trek Picard Season 3's success. The biggest is the current uncertainty in the film, television, streaming business due to the ongoing WGA writers and SAG-AFTRA strike, with the actors, talent, and creatives currently on the picket lines fighting for better terms from studios and streamers when they're not selling cameos to make money. The actors. And the strikes having no end in sight. Production on new entertainment like Star Trek has ground to a dead stop. In addition, Paramount Plus didn't appear to factor in the overwhelming success of Picard Season 3 and the demand for Star Trek Legacy when the streamer was making future plans for Star Trek before the strikes happened. I bet it sat in Alex Kurtzman's craw when Star Trek Legacy was good and really popular. And everybody were raving about it. I bet he hated that. I bet he did. It's hard to envision what will happen when the strikes are inevitably over, but the hope is that Star Trek on Paramount Plus will see the immense value in letting Terry Matalas and his team continue what they set up in Star Trek Picard Season 3 with Star Trek Legacy. Just change the name of the ship back to the Titan A and give the Enterprise another ship. A new one. Paramount Plus appears to be downsizing in its Star Trek content by cancelling Star Trek Prodigy, but it still has the announced Star Trek Starfleet Academy. I think I saw, but it's Sci-Trek. You never know with Jay, though. I never know. But it's always getting these, scoops. There's something about Prodigy getting a Season 3 or something. I don't know. I didn't watch the video. Anyway. But it still has the announced Star Trek Starfleet Academy, which I hope doesn't happen, and the made-for-streaming movie Star Trek Section 31, which hopefully won't happen. In the pipeline, perhaps the hashtag Power of 7 campaign can be the deciding factor to show Paramount Plus that Star Trek Legacy needs to be part of Star Trek's streaming future as well. And there we go. It's on Paramount Plus. So there we go. So tomorrow, is it tomorrow? Yes, it is tomorrow, isn't it? 7 of 9 day, 7th of September, because that's the proper way around. You say the day, 7th of September. You don't say September 7th, but you can. But anyway. They said that the rights to Star Trek Prodigy don't just include seasons 1 and 2. They also allow whoever buys it the right to make more if they choose. Oh, very good. Very good. That's what happens when you pay attention. People like Wingrace pay attention, but I don't. So. Where were we? So yes, so at 7 p.m. Eastern time, as I said, 12 a.m. UK, 1 a.m. Europe. Put Star Trek Picard season 3 on Paramount Plus. Don't just watch one that you've downloaded because they won't know, will they? But you've got to watch it on Paramount Plus and get the numbers up. That'd be cool. I might do. I might lie in bed and watch a bit of Star Trek Picard season 3 at 12 a.m. Anyway, right. So there you go. So let's move on. And don't forget, there's still the podcast guys and their petition on is it change.org? Is it change.org? Anyway, their petition to get Star Trek Legacy made is still on there, and it's got like, I don't know, 60,000 signatures ish. That's still there. Right. Anyway, let's move on. Sorry. Not sure if that's what his video said, but that's what I heard elsewhere. All right, okay. Okie dokie. Right. That's that. Hey, last story. Let me do this first before I forget. I'll just follow that. And where is it? I can't find it now. Anyway, do it later. We have 2 notifications on Twitter. I'm tooting because it's never anything interesting. Right. Where were we? Right. We're on bounding into comics now, so it could get spicy because we're talking about Az's rant about Starfield. Don't know if you've seen it. You must have heard of it. Popular singer and YouTuber Dan Vask clipped out Az's rant that he did while he were playing Starfield, like 6 hours into playing the game or something. Suddenly have this massive rant about the game and its current daying of all that. Dan Vask clipped him out, asked him for permission, said, "Can I clip this out? But you may get some heat." And so he clipped it out and put it up on like Twitter and that, and it got like it's had like over 10 million views and stuff now, so it's gone viral. Anyway, right, so I nearly bloody forgot to share it then. So Sargon of Akkad, who's another I don't know what he does, to be honest. Oh, it says there, a YouTuber, explains why gamers such as HeelvsBabyface, which is Az, are rightfully angry with Starfield. Right, YouTuber, political commentator, and former political candidate Sargon of Akkad, aka Carl Benjamin, recently explained why he believes gamers are rejecting Starfield over the inclusion of forced pronoun usage in the game's character creator. I know a few people that have said that they've asked for refunds and stuff for the game, but it's getting good reviews though. That's the thing. So I think it's going to be a minority of people that are upset with it. I'll not be playing it. It's not my thing. It seems a bit too much like No Man's Sky to me, and I got bored with No Man's Sky. So anyway, and that's Sargon of Akkad. Obviously named himself after one of the great kings of the ancient world, Sargon, King Sargon. I think there's a stealer with him looking up at what some people have said is a UFO, looking up at 2 stars or 2 suns in the sky. I think that's Sargon. Anyway, right, he initially shared his thoughts in reaction to a clip shared to social media website X, Twitter, where fellow YouTuber Az of HeelvsBabyface ranted during one of his live streams about Bethesda Game Studios' inclusion of current-day politics into Starfield. In the video, Az states, "Bethesda, there is nothing I love more than to sit down, comfy chair, turn on my PC, fire up a brand new RPG, lose myself, think, oh my God, just think of this world, just think of all the planets I can visit, all the immersive things that I can get involved with, all the fights, all the relationships, all the people I meet, all the places I go. I'm so excited to go there. I wish I could talk like Az." It lives not far from me, somewhere in my area. I think he's in the next town over, I think. But He lives not far from me. I've never met him, you know. I've never even spoke with him, you know. I don't know him, but he's from my area. But you wouldn't think it listening to him. He puts on his radio voice when he's online. And that's the tweet from Dan Vask with the... I've not put it on because there's lots of swearing in it. Oh, hang on. Windgrace says, No Man's Sky disappointed me, but they say it got much better. Yeah, because I started playing it. I've said this before, probably in my last live stream, but I started playing it, and, you know, it was fine. I was doing okay. And then I got to a bit where I was on a space station. And then when I flew out of the space station, some bad guys just appeared out of nowhere, started shooting at me. And because it was quite early in the game, I didn't have a very good ship. So I couldn't fight them off. And I just kept getting destroyed and put back on the space station. And I couldn't get anywhere. And, you know, I tried again, launched again. Straight away, they appeared. And this happened, you know, several times. I thought, well, sod that. So I turned it off. And then like months and months later, somebody said, well, they've done patches and updates to it now. And apparently they've fixed lots of stuff. So, and they said it's much better now. So I tried. I put it on and it did its updates and all that. And I flew out the space station. No baddies. I thought, cool. So I went to another planet and landed and got bored, just wondering about mining things. And I thought, I can't be bothered. And I've not played it since. Anyway, so this is Az.
I just want to say something to you, Bethesda. Just want to say a little something. There is nothing
Good old Twitter, eh?
Taking my headphones off. Fuck that.
Oh,
Bethesda, there is nothing I love more than to sit down, comfy chair, turn on my PC, fire up a brand new RPG, lose.
Anyway, he goes on. I notice he caught himself on his head there. He's got a bit of a scratch, hasn't he? So he has his rant and he starts shouting and bawling and playing pop with Bethesda about the current day politics they've injected into this this futuristic game, and essentially, you know, taking him out of the immersion. He says he wants to be immersed in this world, but how can he be? And they're always putting in current day, you know, fads, basically. But anyway, I will read on. He continued, and do you know, I love nothing more, with all of that laid out in front of me, I love nothing more than to be dragged out at every effing conceivable opportunity so you can effing current dayers. As then mocked, sorry, did you want to get immersed in our world? Well, then guess what? Effing pronouns, effing gender ambiguity, effing current day Californian shit. Because that's all we effing know, because we're boring. We're so effing boring. By the way, who is it? Perry Chan has put his rant to music. So I think it's on YouTube. Probably if you search Perry Chan as rant, it's probably on there somewhere. He's made it into a song. He didn't stop there. We can't see past our own effing reflection. That's the level of our narcissism here, Bethesda Western Game Company. F your immersion, F you having a good time, F you falling into a world and just getting lost. No, no, no. Current effing day, as added. Oh, and then there was this bit. His rant came a little bit after he got to this part of the game where you found out this character, who looks female, turns out is a clone of a man. I don't think I have a clone of a man. A clone is essentially an identical copy of something, but it's obviously not just a clone. She's genetically altered, gene splicing sort of thing. As you can see, when this came out, because she was saying, you know, there's something you need to know, and they were like, you're a dude, and it turned out, yeah, she used to be. Oh, she's a clone of a dude. And we were like, oh. Right. He then directly addressed the company. F off, you're boring. So he got a bit cross. That's it. Lots of swearing. You're effing dull. You have nothing to say. You are a one hive mind thingy waffle. That's all you effing are. And you wonder why people are getting so sick and tired. I won't bother with the Fs. You take everything we love, all our immersions, all our fantasies, all our escapism, and you just can't help shovel your crap ideology into everything, every single solitary thing, he concluded. And he's right. Richard Masucci of YouTube channel Review Tech USA reacted to the clip, writing on Twitter, I'm jealous, to be honest. I want to live in Heel versus Babyface's world where life is so easy that pronouns in the character creation screen cause me to rage like this. And there's the tweet. In response to Masucci's post, Sargon of Akkad revealed Heel versus Babyface's rant was not really about pronouns, but rather an agenda aimed at white men to humiliate them for their skin colour. I'm not going to get on about racism and stuff like that. It's not what this is about. He began, it's not really about the pronouns. Pronouns are just a symptom of the pervasive, corrupting force of social justice, continuing to humiliate white men for the crime of being white men, which is true. And it's not a race thing because it's women that's doing it and other white men as well that are doing it to other white men. It's everywhere in the real world, and now it's in his escapism, which he paid good money for. Why should he not be angry? Sargon of Akkad continued, the entire philosophy is built on a series of lies and requires us all to commit to its lies or face punishment. We are supposed to clap for men winning women's sports, approve of diversity hires who put people's lives at risk, and believe the media when they tell us white men are the most dangerous group in our countries. The agenda is not incidentally aimed against white men. It is openly prejudicial and explicitly targets and demonizes them every single day from the most powerful pulpits in our societies. An evil will has infused itself across our civilization, and it demands we recognize it as good, he shared. Every day, in every way, we are lied to by people who we know they are lying, and yet they feign outrage and turn us into pariahs if we speak up and say that they're lying, Sargon of Akkad asserted. It's unbearable, and they expect us to pay for the privilege. He concluded, that's why Heel versus Babyface is angry, and I don't blame him. And there's the tweet, if you want to follow the tweet, if you follow the link. Sargon of Akkad is not alone in his assessment. YouTuber Academic Agent posited back in 2020 that actions like the ones Bethesda made for Starfield were part of what former KGB agent Yuri Bezmenov described as a demoralization campaign aimed at Western society back in the 1980s. Bezmenov explained that this demoralization campaign employed psychological warfare techniques to change the perception of reality of every American to such an extent that despite an abundance of information, no one is able to come to sensible conclusions in the interests of defending themselves, their family, their community, and their country. He elaborated, it's a great brainwashing process which goes very slow, and it's divided in 4 basic stages. The first one being demoralization. It takes from 15 to 20 years to demoralize a nation. Why that many years? I don't know. Anyway. Because this is the minimum number of years which requires to educate one generation of students in the country of your enemy. Remember, this is from the 80s. Exposed to the ideology of the enemy, in other words, Marxism, Leninism ideology is pumped into the soft heads of at least 3 generations of American students without being challenged or counterbalanced by the basic values of Americanism, American patriotism. Academic Agent would take these comments a step further and note this demoralization and psychological warfare were actually focused on creating an original sin for target nations to make them more pliable. However, not only did they create and push this original sin on the various nations, it has now been unified in what he describes as the concept of whiteness. Not sure where this article is going, but we'll plod on. He explains if the original sin of the Germans was to be the Holocaust, each other country would find its own original sin. See where they're going. In Britain, it was the empire and colonialism. In America, it was slavery and racism. Yes, this article's it's come round the corner a bit, hasn't it? But we'll plod on. All of these things have coalesced into one unifying concept called whiteness. And for the re-education program finally to be completed, of course, the symbols of these things must be destroyed, or else the new mindset cannot take root. So instantly now people are saying I'm a what's the word? Oh, I can't remember the bloody phrase. This is why I'm not like bloody as. I can't just start going off on stuff because I can never remember things. I'll be called a right wing, nutter now. Oh, what do you make of Sargon? Oh, it's done. Akkad's assessment. I agree with him. I'm not sure about this. What about this 1980s plan to demoralize nations? I don't think it's anything to do with that. It's essentially. I think it's. I don't know how to explain it. It's happened. It's Generation Z basically, isn't it? They've had it too easy these last 20 years or so. The kids that were born in this millennium, they've had it too easy, and now they're demanding that we respect them, even though they're not they've done nothing to earn that respect. They've not been to war and all that. Like previous generations have. Even the millennials, even they'd been to war, haven't they? Because we had 9/11 and all that, and all and the Iraq invasion, Afghanistan, and all that. So, and then before that, we had Generation X, didn't they? My generation, which went through. Well, I don't know. The back end of the Vietnam War, and for Britain, we had the Falklands conflict and the troubles in Ireland. So we all went through as troubled times, didn't we? But that really hasn't happened for Generation Z. But not in Western society. As a rule, I know not everything's perfect, but this is why they seem to focus on things that essentially don't matter. I mean, yeah, it might matter to them, but in the broader scheme of things, stuff like pronouns don't really matter, do they? Really. And that's what they say though about this. They say about this as going off on his rant. There he is. What have I pressed? No, I'll tell you. Never mind. Get out of that. Yeah, I can't now, can I? I'll just pause it. I forgot what I was saying now. As there, going off on his rant about pronouns and stuff. It's not just about that. I forgot what I was going to say now. Oh, my, that was it. Yes, I've remembered now. Because they say, it's just pronouns. It doesn't really matter. So if it doesn't really matter, why bother putting them in these games then? And injecting all this sort of thing into every part of the entertainment world. It's in everything you see, isn't it? And the same. So if it doesn't matter, why is it everywhere? And that's what's annoying a lot of people, because it is everywhere and it's getting tiresome. You're not allowed to do certain things or say certain things, or you'll get cancelled, and that's what annoys people. Anyway, so we'll leave it there. We'll leave that one there. So before I get cancelled and called a whatever, an ist, and a phobe. Me pressing the wrong buttons and doing stuff. Right, so we'll leave it there. So on that dour note. So anyway, so thanks, Grace, for joining in. I don't think anybody joined in last week on Sunday's show. Never mind. Right, so what's next? What have I got next? What day is it? It's Wednesday. So this Friday, I've got me Friday night appointment with Fear. This week we're doing. This week we're doing. There we go. Ready? Can you see? Ready or Not? Starring the lovely Samara Weaving. So there we go. So that's a good film. We're looking at that on Friday, and I've got to decide what I'm doing next Monday for me Magnificent Mondays. Wingate says I can rarely can make Sundays. Well, if you're busy, you're busy. It's fine. It's fine. It's not, it's not a demand that I get viewers and participants. That's the word. Engagement. That's the word. That's the buzzword, isn't it, lately? Engagement. Anyway, right, so we'll leave it there. So, oh, hang on. Wingray says, Lower Decks review tomorrow. I also think I'm going to disagree with the podcast tomorrow about Harry Potter on their show. Lol. Oh, yeah, I saw that they put a placeholder, didn't they, for their show tomorrow, but I haven't read it. I haven't read the title. I might do a Lower Decks review. We'll see. If I like it, I might do. Or I might do like a quick review, like I did for that last voyage of the Demeter. We'll see. It depends. If I really, really like it, I might do a proper full review. But anyway. Right. So I'm going to go now. And sweat some more because it's really warm. Even though it's, what time is it here now? It's 20 past 10 at night, 22 minutes past 10 at night, and it's still really warm. I've got the ceiling fan on still. God, I thought there was somebody stood behind me then. Crap me. And I've got my little air conditioning thing going here. And my cold water out of the fridge. But I'm still sweating. Apologies if the light's been bouncing off my nose. Right, so yes, Windgrace, you take care as well. I'm sure I'll be playing more Assassin's Creed, going, yar, me hearties, and all that stuff, and shouting and bawling at the game, because it gets me angry, but I like it. Anyway, right, so I'm going now. So thanks for watching, wherever you are. Look after each other, and until next time, I'll say the